I feel like Castaway is something that a lot of children will be able to relate to. This is the first segment in the first episode of the seventh season of Arthur, and in this one, Arthur's looking forward to spending time with his father at the museum, having father and son time. But DW ends up having to go along because Kate's unwell and her mother needs to focus on Kate. And the museum trip is, in Arthur's perspective, ruined. And then Arthur and his father are going to go fishing. One thing leads to another, and it becomes a family trip, and they all end up going. And Arthur spends most of the episode being very disgruntled about this, being very annoyed that his father-son bonding time has been completely taken over by DW. Even if DW wasn't an annoying little sister, that would still be quite disheartening. But when you throw into the mix that she winds Arthur up no end, it means that he's feeling very left out and understandably feeling quite sorry for himself. And there's just no way around it. She has to be there, and things just don't go to Arthur's plan at all. And there's at one point where his father gives a speech that I don't necessarily agree with, but his parents were acknowledging the fact sometimes that it was a bit rubbish that DW had to be there with Arthur during father-son time. But generally they didn't really see just how much it was affecting Arthur. But as I was about to say, his father gave a speech at one point saying that something more important than that is being willing to share your special father-son time with your little sister, and that's a great quality. As true as that may be, Arthur didn't really willingly do that, so it doesn't really apply. I can see what his father was trying to do, trying to make Arthur feel better about himself. But if somebody had said that to me in this situation, my only thought would be, that's great, but I didn't do that, so obviously I don't have that quality. So I think it could have backfired. It didn't though, but it could have done. And ultimately, I guess a tiny spoiler here, not really a spoiler, but they did have a sweet moment together, so kind of the moment was restored, if you like. But I think it's an important episode, not just for the children watching it to feel like they're not alone in this situation, but also for any parents who happen to watch this, either on their own or with a child, to remind them that if you have more than one child, yes, it's important to do things as a family to make the children try and interact with each other and spend time together, but having one-on-one time with each parent is so important, and that you can't overlook that. And I think it's really not uncommon for parents to make older siblings always include the younger siblings under the guise that, they're your sibling, you should love them, you should want to spend time with them. Yeah, that's great, but also having one-on-one special time with each parent, not just father, son, mother, daughter, is invaluable. And it's really important to give each child one-on-one time, so that they feel like an individual and not just part of a sibling pair or three siblings or however many siblings they've got. So I think, yeah, for children it's a great episode to make them feel less alone. But also, it's really more important, I think, for the parents watching it too.